Srinivas Garu. So let's head back to that. I do have one more question in between. How do these laws look for immigrants? Because what you just spoke about is like in general and more of citizens wise, right? Or people who are naturalized here or naturally born here. But how do these look for immigrants, like who are on immigrant visas or let's say non-immigrant visas too? Because people do work on non-immigrant visas as well with EADs and all.
Brilliant questions in there. The Constitution of America did not say citizens. The laws in America did not say it is for only citizens. Any individuals or any persons in America, anybody who could be illegal also, somebody with a green card, H1, F1, people who are out of status in the country, the law says it's protected to them. Persons and a word which is there. Anybody, any person in this country, when they come under the definition of persons, the law applies to them. And it is not only for just people who are citizens of this country. That is the beauty of Constitution. That is the beauty of law in this country. Any persons in the country, the law is protected to them. For example, if you say there are a lot of people who are unlawful citizen persons, well, the children, they're all given protection to go to school in this country until grade 12. They are not citizens or green card holders. They can go to school, they can go to the hospital, they can get food stamps. They're giving protection. So even at the opportunity of jobs also, for example, if somebody comes and mows your lawn, you cannot say that, oh, you don't have a papers, I can't give you the same money what I'm giving you to a prevailing wage to another worker. So everybody has to be paid. The Department of Labor protects them also. Any persons in the country, they can also go to court. They can also go to Department of Labor. If he is discriminated, you can also go to Equal Opportunity, and there are so many agencies you can go and complain.
That is a refresher to hear. I mean, it clears out a lot of things because out there, a lot of people think that only citizens are protected by these laws and much don't apply to immigrants. But I think it clarifies this for a lot of people. Thank you, Srinivas Garu, for that.
Yep.
And let's move on. Since we talked about employment-based discrimination already, could we kind of list out a few types of employment-based discrimination laws, like as per law in specific, technically, and then talk about them in depth moving forward?
In terms of, if you see now, what we are hearing in this country, caste has never played any role in our American society. But now some new counties are introducing the law based on casteism. The casteism which we brought from India and some Asian parts, now it is getting percolated into American society. So some states, they're saying, because you come from a particular region, let us say you're from Andhra or Telangana, or you're coming from a particular country, we don't want to hire. And even advertisements could I ask Sunaru, oh, if you have to take up this job, you have to be a Christian, or you have to be a Muslim. I just saw one advertisement yesterday that you have to be practicing Islamism. That's against the law.
Wow.
You cannot say that you should come from a particular religion. You cannot say that you have to be a woman or a man, or you cannot say that you should come from a particular country and your religious background. Even sometimes you cannot even say that either you are a woman or a man or a bisexual or lesbian. You can't say all of that. For example, sometimes some employment, they say, oh, you have a tattoo, we can't take you into the job. There are some people, they profile you based on a tattoo. They don't give you a job. And there are some jobs also in government. They say, oh, if you have certain unnatural marks on your body and the way you have long hair or, sometimes drags and everything, they also discriminate. They cannot discriminate like that, number one. Number two, sometimes there are people are against certain countries, Islamic countries. They say, oh, you can't, you're a Muslim name, you're from a Muslim country, I can't. And there are some people that are very judgmental about African Americans or even Jewish. You can't do such discrimination. And, particular region also, as I said, because IT industry law, now because North Indians, South Indians, you're from Andhra, Telangana, that also you cannot discriminate. Sometimes they're also saying, oh, you come from this university, that school, this is a fake one. You understand what I mean? They cannot say that, oh, you come from an Ivy League, I'll pick you up, and you come from this school, I can't. they cannot discriminate based on that trending. And sometimes people also say that, okay, you're an H-1B and you're a green card holder or a citizen, I'll only pick up citizens. They can't discriminate like that.
This is happening a lot. I think lots of people need
That's a discrimination, and that's a pure case. But you have to, the burden of proof is on you when you go and file a complaint. We can raise the alarm, but the burden is on you to prove that he or she discriminated based on your. Of course, they can say that you have to have a right to work in the country, but you cannot say that, oh, you have a right to work in the country, but you're on H-1B, I can't pick it up. Because a lot of employers are saying, oh, we only prefer green card holders and citizens. But a preference is given when you're picking up a federal job, because the federal job ain't there. It requires a lot of clearances from a lot of agencies because of confidentiality. They can say, okay, we want citizens. That is okay. But you cannot say that because you are a non-immigrant worker, you're an OPT or a CPT or an H-1B, we cannot deny CHP. Other than federal jobs, you cannot say that. That is a discrimination too. When the recruiters and employers are doing that, that's a pure case of discrimination.
Yeah, so I mean, what you said makes some sense because that's happening a lot these days, and even I have ran into some of these kinds of things, and I do have some queries about that. So, any kind of preference, like implying that people should not be from a particular region or they should not hail from a particular region to even get into a contract or a full time both. Do they apply to both, or do they only apply to potential employers only?
Unfortunately, this only applies to the employees and employees only, not to the independent contractors. And then independent contractors, they don't come under the definition of an employee. You have to fall under the definition of an employee, because independent contractor law, you're working independently. There is no master and servant rule on that one. He is not a servant. For example, I'm hiring somebody to come and mow the lawn. He is not my employee. He can stop the work in between and go away. He's not my employee. And so, for example, I'm hiring somebody to paint my apartment. You understand? I'm hiring somebody to come and clean my bathroom. He's an independent contractor. He can leave it and go. But there are certain jobs, if you're an independent contractor, that is complied to be an employee. For example, ఏదైనా ultra hazardous పనులు చేసేటప్పుడు independent contractors కు కొన్ని protections ఉన్నాయి. Other than that, independent contractors కు protections ఉండవు.
Okay. I mean, in the discrimination laws, is there any leeway there for, I mean, not independent contractors, but independent contractors more of like those who have GCs, right? I'm talking about the immigrants who are hired for C2H kind of thing, where the other person is a potential employer.
You have civil rights. Civil rights claims ఉన్నాయి. Harassment అనుకోండి. Employer harass చేస్తాడు. Most of these H-1B guys, employers, they don't give you a paycheck. They have no accountability. They don't get transferability. They don't show you any documents what they have filed. By law, they have to provide you an LCA as per the Department of Labor regulation and H-1B. They don't provide you a labor certification. They don't provide you paychecks. They don't give you documents pertaining to you. These are all amounts to, civil right claims ఉన్నాయి. Department of Labor rights ఉన్నాయి. Immigration rights ఉన్నాయి. They fall under the different rights. It might not fall under the discrimination, but you have a human right, political rights, economic rights ఉన్నాయి కదా.
So as per my understanding, you're saying that for contractors, it doesn't apply if the discrimination is being done by the person who is hiring the contractor, but only the employer is liable for such things. So, okay. So let's talk about the full-timers then, because full-timers usually means that we are switching from one employer to the other. So, for my experience, I have seen some cases where a full-time opportunity has been denied in like different stages of employment. Like, so these immigration laws, do they cover all stages of employment, like from the all process, the whole cycle? Do they cover all the cycle? Yeah, it's only after.
Yeah, brilliant question. It starts from recruitment and up till the employment in a full life cycle.
Makes sense.
It doesn't say that, oh, I cannot discriminate you at recruitment state. It applies to all the stages. And
Makes sense.
the beauty is that, number one, And as I said to you, the burden is on you, number one. Number two, and see, there are different agencies. For example, if somebody gets this, there's a pattern by the employers. Sometimes they deny, and you have some evidences saying that they're discriminating against H-1B employees, so like students or green card holders or citizens, or even particular colored guys, or even particular religion. But people also make judgment based on your name. Sometimes you have a Muslim name, they deny. Sometimes you have a Hindu name, they deny. Sometimes you have a Christian name, they take it. So the burden is on you to prove. And this is called profiling. See, different stages law, you can prove the case, number one. Number two, sometimes I had a client. This was a big trucking company. And this client was a truck driver. Because he had a Hindu name, and the hiring manager was a Muslim guy, and he was giving extra hours to the people who had a Muslim name. So I could prove that. We could prove that. And we could get big compensation because it is a pattern. He was only giving employment and overtime job for only Muslim named guys. So we sued, and they were compensated. And you should show the pattern. It is not that equal opportunity. We can also go to civil rights, and there are so many other agencies. And you can go to Department of Labor, and there are different agencies and Attorney General's office, consumer, different rights, and political rights, economic rights, religious rights, and other, constitutional rights you have. You can go to court, you can go to civil courts, you can go to constitutional courts, and different agencies online. So it is for you to pick up the forum, and depends upon the damages. How do you prove it? And are you looking for a punishment? Are you looking for a damage? What is that you're looking at? So one should contact the competent attorney so that they get some legal advice. Basically, we can also do some research online. But what I suggest is, let your viewers not see this as a legal advice. They should contact a competent attorney, particular area law. The other problem is in our country, in America, 50 states has 50 laws. That's another country. The problem.
State-based laws.
State laws. And federal law is only one, according. For example, housing, it's only federal law. For example, discrimination and employment, it's a federal law. Immigration is a federal law. And Department of Labor regulations, they have state regulations, federal regulations. There's a federal Department of Labor, state Department of Labor. So certain industries are governed under the state labor. Certain industries are governed under the federal labor. And one has to determine and go to the particular agencies. And it's a very complex area. It can be doable. But competent attorneys are both a chess coach. That's one. Two, most of the times, immigrants, we are student visas, H-1B visas, until we get green cards, we are all thinking we're immigrants. We only look at these immigration websites, so immigration lawyer, and they are not competent lawyers to advise. You should go to somebody who specializes in that area. For employment discrimination law, so the law firms, you can also go to them, speak to them. They will also take an approval. The కొన్నిసార్లు వాళ్ళు మీకు కంటింజెన్సీలో కూడా తీసుకుంటారు కాంపన్సేషన్ మీద కొంత ఫీజు తీసుకొని. They also do things like that. But the other problem is they cannot fund litigation. Attorneys cannot fund litigation. So if your viewers, if they want some specific legal advice, they should go to particular state attorney and somebody who's practicing that area. ఇంకొక విషయం ఏంటంటే, lot of people ఇక్కడ, we also have a fear. నార్మల్గా, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, ఐ టెల్ క్లయింట్స్ కదా, అంటే మై ఫర్మ్, చాలామంది వేజ్ రెగ్యులేషన్స్ వైలేట్ చేస్తారు. ఎంప్లాయర్స్ పే చెక్స్ ఇవ్వరు, శాలరీలు కట్టరు, డాక్యుమెంట్స్ ఇవ్వరు. ఇలాంటి ఏమైనా కంప్లైంట్ చేస్తే రిటాలియేషన్ మెజర్లో దే టర్మినేట్ యువర్ H-1B. They terminate your job.
They revoke giving backdated employment letters to the USCIS. I have read about that.
These are called retaliatory actions. It's a very good case in it. For example, if you complained and the retaliation action, or if they terminated your employment or anything, that's a good case. And you can also do a whistleblower. When you are complaining, you can ask the government to keep your name secret. That's called whistleblower law. You don't
Oh,
have to disclose your name to. And they can investigate under the water, under the carpet. And the employer doesn't have to know who complained. That's called whistleblower law. That can country law protection only. Of course, protection is also there in India and Pune. But the countries like America, you have a protection.
Taken very seriously, yeah.
Yes.
The whistleblower thing is there's some. I learned something new here. I mean, that is one fear which every one of us will have when complaining against our own employer, probably, or a potential employer. That's one fear we all, right? So,
చాలా మంది తెలియదండి whistleblower law. A lot of people don't know. And those are the privileges. ఇంకొక విషయం ఏంటంటే, it's an interesting thing. We had our firm had some clients. Suddenly, papamu, and these girls, they called us and said, sir, we received a notice from immigration saying that our H-1B is getting revoked. I said, why? Oh, మాకు తెలియకుండానే the employer filed multiple applications in the past. We never knew these things. And we are not part of the conspiracy. Now, suddenly, we are getting a letter from the immigration saying revocation. Ippudu, what are you going to do? You're a victim of a crime. Employer did it. So our firm has advised them to file T visa, which is immigration law. If you're a victim of a crime, labor trafficking, for example, a recruitment nunchi H-1B processing daka, you have a labor trafficking, like human trafficking laga, labor trafficking. If the employer has done violations in recruiting, because this is part of recruitment process, filing multiple H1s from different companies, you might own them. Then make తెలియదు పాపం. So your visa has been revoked. You're not part of the conspiracy. And now, what are you going to do? So you are a victim of a crime. You can complain to the different agencies at labor trafficking in that. Then my firm has got T visas for these people. Work permit 4 years. ఇంతవరకు ఎవరు కూడా అడ్వైస్ చేయలే ఆ సబ్జెక్టు. You can go and do research. And these are the protections you have as a victim of a crime. It might not be discrimination or anything, but these are the good things which American law has designed for protecting the immigrant.
I'm getting some confidence hearing that, if such a situation can be mended, anything else can be mended.
Our firm has
Thank you so
done it.
much, Srinivas Garu, for that, for what you did for them.
Yes.
On behalf of all H1s, I can say, for myself too. As we all saw in today's video, there are a lot of laws that protect immigrants from all kinds of discrimination. Hope this video addresses some of the concerns which you guys might be having, and also hopefully this helps you guys to make a more informed decision about these kinds of scenarios in the future as well. For more informative content and videos like these, please like and share this video, and also do subscribe to KavetiLaw Channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell below. The links to our socials also have been provided in the description below. Please follow us on our Instagram to know more about us, and also to get future updates about upcoming videos, collaborations, and other relatable and educational content. And for further assistance or any specific queries, please do book a consultation through the KavetiLaw website link, which has been provided in the description. I once again warmly thank Mr. Srinivas Rao Garu for taking time out from his busy schedule to educate all of us on immigration laws pertaining to specific queries, and also for sharing his knowledge with us. Thank you so much, guys. See you guys soon. Have a blessed rest of your day.